This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray. We are back at Carl Albert High School. It is the first round of the boys Class 5A regional tournament here tonight. It is the Carl Albert Titans hosting the Noble Bears. And that is our first matchup of the night. Carl Albert, the unlikely or unexpected really down the stretch, they found themselves in the position of being the district champions this year, Jordan, and it sure wasn't looking like that was going to happen midway through the season.
No, and even late in the season, even heading into the fourth quarter of the game we did 2 weeks ago when they had their incredible victory against Crossings, yeah, it looked like they were headed for a 2 or a 3 seed. And the thing is, if they didn't win that game, they'd be a 3 seed right now, and they would be playing the later game at Del City. So that was an unbelievable win. That's the last time we've had the boys team on, the two of us anyway. Now I was able to help announce their game last week against Altus. And here we are. They are a 1 seed. When they lost to Guthrie in December, you didn't know what direction this team was heading, especially then a few weeks later they lost Jaden Mott, who moved away. So he was a big part of the team for the last couple of years. But they've righted the ship. They beat Guthrie, a very convincing win a few weeks ago. They won that rematch and then the Crossings rematch, and now they have to have a lot of confidence. They're a 1 seed, winning their district. Came down to the last day, in fact. Guthrie beating Crossings. That was, of course, 9 days ago, and Carl Albert got the tiebreaker. So not only are they a 1 seed, but they have one of the better paths to get to the area championship. It doesn't mean they're going to take or win it, but they have, I think, 2 matchups coming up today and tomorrow that are very favorable to them. You still got to go take it, but these are 2 games that are very winnable as opposed to going to a Guthrie or playing a Del City for a regional championship. So the Carl Albert boys, very well positioned to make a run.
Absolutely. Noble has struggled this year. Noble finished in the 8th position in their district. That's why they are here playing the district champion, Carl Albert. So they have struggled this year. And you never know what's going to happen. I was just telling you a story a minute ago about a 3A girls team that lost in regionals today to a team that had not won a game all year. And so anything can happen once you get to the playoffs, but there are things that are very unlikely. And
Carl Albert is healthy, so they could lose tonight. It won't be an elimination game, of course, but I think they're, like I said, if they're focused, like Jay Price usually gets his teams to be very focused, I think, like I said before, they're in good shape.
Well, the last game that we streamed was and you mentioned it already, the Crossings game. And that was a game where it didn't feel like they were as focused in the early minutes of that game. But, boy, down the stretch, they were down by 19 with like 3 minutes left to play in the third period in that one. They come back, they scored a couple of buckets late in the third, and then they dominated. They had extreme focus and discipline in the fourth period and dominated the fourth period of that one to get the win over a very good Crossings team. So you're right, focus is key.
Yep, we're going to wait to see if they got the national anthem or not, because it's the first game here. There's a game coming up. We look forward to bringing him. Looks like we're going to we'll see in a moment here.
Noble versus Carl Albert Titans. Please rise and join us in singing the national anthem.
Yep, there we go.
All right, so we'll take a quick break here. We'll be back here in a moment.
Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School for Class 5A regional action. Starting lineups being introduced right now. Starting lineups brought to you by Dynamic Health Clinic. Our starting lineup for the visiting Noble Bears in this game against the Carl Albert Titans. For Noble is number 10, Eli Elmore. Number 12, Leland Elmore. Number 20, Weston Randolph. Number 30, is that a number 30? Number 33, Mason Crawford and...
We got number 3, A.J. Balkema.
Well, I've got him marked, but I've got number 4 on the court instead.
Okay,
so
not the lineup we were told, but that happens.
Number 4, Andrew Holmes, is in the starting lineup. And that's what was throwing me off at the beginning. Yeah. Our starting lineup for the Carl Albert Titans, number 1, a sophomore, Jaden Hopkins. Number 12, senior, Hutch Russell. Number 21, senior, Ryan Reynolds. Number 22, senior, Quincy Hopkins. And number 23, a junior, Marcus James. Now, in that last game that we streamed, Jordan, we saw Marcus James come in that game, and he struggled a little bit with converting touches down low into points. Just was really struggling to get the ball off the glass right. He was doing a good job blocking out and getting some boards, but was struggling to score and ended up not playing as many minutes in the second half of that one. It'll be interesting to see what the junior comes out and does tonight, because we know what kind of hands he has on the football field, going up and high-pointing balls, using his hands to catch them. He's a tremendous athlete, the D1 football recruit. So expect to see some good things out of him with his athleticism here on the basketball court today.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game, important game for him to set that type of rhythm that you're talking about. A game that Carl Albert supposed to win easily, doesn't mean they will, but if Marcus James can get some good put-ins early, that could help him for the rest of the tournament.
And Marcus James wins the opening tip for Carl Albert. Russell out on the left wing, and Carl Albert swings the ball from the left to the right.
2-3 zone for Noble. It's a good zone for Carl Albert. They got some shooters who can take advantage of that.
Good ball movement here, being patient with this first possession. Russell lets the ball go through his hands, chases it down, gets it back to Jaden Hopkins. Cross the court, Quincy Hopkins from the low post, and gets his own rebound and puts that one back in for 2.
Yeah, once you get penetration against the zone, that opens up offensive rebounds and other easy opportunities. It's a good start for the Titans.
Some high-pressure man defense by the Titans here. Reynolds tips that ball out of bounds as Weston Randolph was driving to the hole.
One thing we want to mention, we got 4 games going on right now. It's like football.
Turnover on the inbound play by Noble. Hutch comes up with the ball. Russell for three, top of the key, front of the iron. Shot no good. Jaden Hopkins gets the rebound, gets called for the double dribble. There's a turnover for each team in the early goings of the game here.
Yeah, so we also have going on right now Del City taking on Altus. Midwest City taking on Western Heights, and over in 6A down in Lawton High taking on PC North.
So Noble with the ball, trying to pass it inside, tipped away. There's a steal by Carl Albert. Hutch Russell going to the hole, and he draws the first foul of the basketball game.
When you play in these games right now, you're the top seed in your district and one of the top seeds in 5A. That's one of the things you hope to do often. You want to get in transition, try to throw a big punch early in the game.
Russell misses the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. We have some sponsors we need to make mention of here. Our starting lineup, we introduced those a minute ago. We're brought to you by Dynamic Health Clinic. Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. Russell hits the second of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Toonie Buys Houses in any condition. If you know someone who needs to sell a house, call today for a cash offer at 405-931-3046, Toonie Buys Houses. And, of course, our first period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings to support your favorite Mid-Del winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone. Show your waiter and your team will get 10% of the proceeds at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Very important for Noble. They cannot get trapped in the dead man's corner like that. Once they cross the timeline, they need to keep going.
Three from the left wing, no good. Rebound by Carl Albert. Jaden Hopkins brings the ball up the court in a hurry, takes a little hop in the paint. Ball comes loose, and it goes through the hands of Hutch Russell out of bounds. That would be a turnover now for Carl Albert. Carl Albert has two turnovers.
Yeah, both are on Jaden Hopkins, the sophomore. See if he can get under control here. If he can't, Steven Anderson might make an early appearance for the Titans.
4 turnovers now for Noble. Quincy Hopkins pulls up from the free throw line, and he drains it for 2. He has 4 points of the 5. Super Subs instant replay. And we've got a 30-second timeout on the court. 5-0 our score early in this one. Quincy Hopkins with 4 points for Carl Albert. 1 point at the free throw line for Hutch Russell. No shots made thus far for Noble in this ball game, and they have 4 turnovers.
Yeah, this Noble team, they were a solid team last year. They won their first game in the regionals, so they got to advance to the area weekend. Lost a tough one to Mount St. Mary's, I believe, and that's what eliminated them. But that was last year. This team is completely rebuilt. Last year's team had a lot of seniors, and they also have a new head coach this year, replacing Dwayne Bradley, the old Midwest City coach.
Great job getting the ball down the court, beating the fast break. Shot gets blocked right at the rim, and now Carl Albert with the basketball again. Marcus James drives in, kicks the ball across the paint. Turnover as we have a travel called on Carl Albert.
Well, if you're ever going to get that out of your system, it might as well be the first half of this game. Quincy Hopkins, he knew what he wanted to do, but he went a little too quick with his feet there on the pump fake. Started to move his feet before he dribbled.
There's a 3 from the left corner. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. Courtesy of boy, those numbers are really hard to read on these Noble uniforms. They have a light gold outline, dark blue on black, and it's really hard to read. That shot was made by Leland Elmore.
One good 3 deserves another.
And that one was hit by
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds drains the 3 for Carl Albert. The score's 8-3, and a foul is called on the Titans. That foul going on Marcus James. That is the first foul on the Titans.
Well, there's a lot of good reasons for Noble to go zone. Ryan Reynolds is not one of them. He will discourage you from going zone. And Hutch Russell's more of a guy who will hit threes, catching the ball off the move, catching the ball coming off screens against a man defense. Ryan Reynolds is more of a spot-up shooter. Both can be deadly.
Well, Weston Reynolds for Noble misses the front end and hits the second of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Jaden Hopkins has the ball in the corner. A lot of body contact there, and he's going to be called for stepping on the baseline. He's got to be frustrated because he took a good body blow there.
He did. He really didn't have a driving lane. Oh, Ryan Reynolds You only see him getting steals, but he got a good one. Nice pass.
Reynolds got the steal, gets in the way, and what's the call?
It might be a foul. Nope, it's turnover on Noble.
I don't know if it was a travel or a stepping out of bounds, but either way, Carl Albert gets the ball.
So Jaden Hopkins has 3 turnovers, but no Steven Anderson yet for him, so Coach Price is going to be patient.
Reynolds misses the 3 from the corner. Marcus James gets the rebound, is about to step out of bounds, throws it back in, and he throws it in the hands of a Noble player.
Yeah, he really had no choice to make. That was probably the right pass to make.
Another 3 by Noble. That one's in and out. Jaden Hopkins with the rebound. 8-4 the score. Titans on top. Hopkins really pushing hard, trying to get in and getting a little out of control. Turn around backwards a couple of times now on these drives.
And now Steven Anderson is set to check in. And Steven Anderson has a lot of the same skills as Jaden Hopkins. That was not a turnover on Hopkins, but like you said, he's a bit out of control right now. So if that is a sub, and it is, having a seat for Jaden will probably do him some good right now.
Side out inbound play for Noble. 8-4 the score. Under 4 minutes to play in the first period. Good defense by Brandon Rogers, who's now in the ball game. Brandon Rogers had a great game against Crossings Christian last week.
So did this guy.
Quincy Hopkins dishes it to Anderson. Anderson off the glass for 2. 10-4 the score.
And Crawford knows they got the team speed to go get steals if they want them.
James goes for the steal, misses it. Shot missed down low by Crawford, and Hutch Russell, he's acting like maybe he got hit in the face or something. And
it's probably good foul for Hutch that Noble got called for that foul, so Hutch can kind of regain his composure here as he'll stay in the game.
Weston Randolph called for his first personal second-team foul on Noble. Quincy Hopkins, floater in the paint, a little hard. Marcus James gets the offensive board as the ball blocked as he's going up with it, and it is Anderson chasing down the loose ball. Nice bounce pass from Rogers, knowing the defender was there. Ball tipped away from behind. That's a steal for Noble. Long 3. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 for A.J. Bakima.
On the lefty, and that was from range. I think that would have been an NBA 3.
It was pretty close, Definitely college. Back iron by Quincy Hopkins, rebound by Crawford. By the way, those 3-point shots brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance with surprisingly great late rates and 2 locations to serve you. Choctaw at 405-281-6700 and Del City 405-670-3665.
Well, Noble's making a run here. They're making this interesting this first quarter. Their defense has really gotten more lively.
Bucket by
the shooters.
Bucket by Noble cuts the lead to 1. Carl Albert's going to have to get settled down here. Rogers looks at the goal, passes off. Reynolds on the baseline, moving from right to left. Hopkins pulls up for the 12-foot jumper, a little short. Crawford with the rebound, and here comes Noble with a chance to take the lead.
And for Hopkins, that shot, I think it needs to be off the backboard. He'll have a better chance of making it.
That 3, short and under the basket. A little crossover move coming by Noble. Rebound by Anderson. Gives it to Russell. Russell getting down the court in a hurry, and we're going to have a foul called on Bakima.
I think against this zone, this is a good lineup for Carl Albert because all 5 guys can shoot the 3, but they still need to make a concerted effort to go inside out. We're going to see Quincy Hopkins come back in, but it looks like here he'll be playing off the ball. Steven Anderson will be the point guard, at least for this set.
Rogers and Anderson playing catch. Jaden Hopkins at the high post. Drops down low. Jaden Hopkins catches the ball in the paint, goes up for the shot, and draws the foul. And that's a nice quick move by Hopkins there.
Yeah, he caught it and went straight up, so he's very decisive. Didn't mess with the dribble. I think it's going to be I thought Mason Crawford fouled. No, it's going to be on Randolph.
That's his second personal foul. 4th team foul now on Noble. And Jaden Hopkins gets the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. He hits the first.
Also on the air, they mentioned Midwest City Western Heights. So we appreciate Josh Calloway bringing us that game.
Midwest City, a fun team to watch this year.
Yep. Well, I like all three Mid-Del's boys teams and the girls teams as well, but definitely on the boys side where all three teams are hosting.
And we've got a great game coming up tomorrow between Carl Albert and Del City girls.
Oh, I can't wait.
Nice move by Balkema in there for Noble, but just can't get the ball to fall through the hole. Jaden Hopkins, on the other hand, though, does lay it off the glass for 2, and the lead's back to 5 for Carl Albert. There's another takeaway for Carl Albert. Steven Anderson going to the hole, and he's fouled.
Boy, not enough time to show us replays here. But I tried. And yeah, I mean, even though it was a 1-point game a moment ago, I mean, Carl Albert has gotten plenty of steals and a chance to lead the layups here. They've struggled more in the half court and then struggled there from the free throw line.
Yeah, Steven Anderson misses the first of the Toonie House's free throws. That foul was called, by the way, on Eli Elmore. It was his first personal, 5th team foul. And another missed free throw by Anderson. Noble still in the backcourt with the ball. We've got Jaden Hopkins, rips it away from him, and he slams it home. There's a Super Subs instant replay.
Hopkins just swiped it, just grabbed it, and not much resistance there.
And we've got a full timeout on the court, so we are going to take a timeout as well right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Well, guess what? They're not. Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Titans lead the Noble Bears 16-9 with 40 seconds to play in the first period. First period again brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Switched early there.
There's a 3 from the corner, in and out by Noble. Crawford with the long rebound. Another 3, in and out by Noble. How many times have we said that in the first period? Jaden Hopkins gets the rebound, brings the ball up the court, 18 seconds on the clock here in the first.
And the Bears are not shy for shooting threes. By the way, we'll see another Bears team in a second game. We won't see them, but we'll hear about them.
Reynolds for 3. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 for Ryan Reynolds.
He's his own buster.
And a heave from half court at the end of one period of play. It was a 1-point game a couple of minutes ago, and now it's a 10-point lead for Carl Albert after one period. 19-9 the score. Thank you for watching Mid-Del basketball here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Titans lead the Noble Bears 19-9. Class 5A regional action. Another 3 by Noble. Well, they are living and dying by the 3 in the first half. It's a 10-point lead for Carl Albert. Ryan Reynolds, 3, and that one, I think, maybe a fingertip on it.
Not only that, I thought he got hit in the arm. Noble may have gotten away with one there.
Noble kicked the ball out. Jaden Hopkins gets a steal. And Quincy Hopkins goes up for the shot, draws the foul. He's going to the line to shoot the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. That foul going on A.J. Balkema, his second personal. Our second period brought to you by Casa Juanito. Casa Juanito is a quick service restaurant offering fresh and flavorful fiesta meals in Del City, Oklahoma. They've been there since 1976, located at 4718 Southeast 29th Street in Del City, just east of Sooner Road. And it is a favorite of mine, I can tell you that. Quincy Hopkins hits the first of the two Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back there.
They load that plate up with food. They are not stingy. Quincy hits both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, and it's a 12-point lead. A little full court pressure, ball tipped away, out of bounds. It'll be side out in the backcourt for Noble.
Noble needs to find a way, especially when they're seeing a trap, to pass the ball around and get someone in position to finish at the basket.
They got the ball down the court past the break, press pretty well that time, and just struggled to do anything with it once they got it down there.
Yeah, not taking care of the ball. That's a sloppy play on their part.
Quincy Hopkins misses from the free throw line, but it's Steven Anderson cleaning up under the basket. 23-9 the score. Another three by Noble. A little long that time. Jaden Hopkins with the rebound. Jaden pushing hard. Bounce pass behind the defender. Hopkins gets the dish back from Reynolds and goes to the hole to score. And we've got a full timeout with a score at 25-9. Carl Albert on top. We'll take a break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I want to start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tip.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
One,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School. Class 5A boys regional action. This is the first round of the playoffs for 5A boys tonight. The Carl Albert Titans lead the Noble Bears 25-9. Now, that 16-point lead was a 1-point lead, 10-9, late in the first period. It's been all Carl Albert since then as they finally settled down and got their offense working. And another turnover. That is the 10th turnover of the first half for Noble.
Well, I'll tell you this, Steven Anderson Quincy Hopkins, after getting an early rest because of turnovers, has played really well since coming back in. And that's a good finish for Marcus James.
Marcus James cuts the baseline, makes a great move. Our instant replay brought to you by Super Subs. And folks, Super Subs has chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe, buffalo, or barbecue chicken. And another turnover by Noble. Carl Albert sets their offense back up. Anderson inside. Jaden Hopkins kicks it back out to Anderson. Quincy Hopkins, players a lot of times will look like they lose body mass during the basketball season. Quincy Hopkins looks like he has added muscle mass during the basketball season.
That is an interesting observation. You're probably right. I know teams these days definitely weight lift during the season. You didn't always see that with basketball. I was once thought lifting weights during the season would throw off your shot, but that's just a myth.
5:50 left to play here in the first half. 27-9. Carl Albert leading Noble, and Noble just has their 12th turnover of the first half.
And they're sticking with that zone, but Carl Albert's getting more and more comfortable against it.
Marcus James, cross-court pass on the baseline. Quincy Hopkins got hooked there. And Crawford comes in, gets in front of Marcus James, and knocks the ball out of bounds. It is Carl Albert ball on the baseline.
I really think Hopkins would benefit if he would shoot those shots using the backboard.
What an athletic move by Jaden Hopkins. He puts that one off the glass on the backside for 2. And there's a nice shot put up by number 20, Weston Randolph. That's the first bucket for Noble since they pulled within 1 back in about 2 to 3 minutes left in the first.
That was a 19-0 run for the Titans.
Wow. Marcus James battling hard inside, gets the bucket to go. He has 4 points in the second period. 20-point lead for Carl Albert now. We've got Colton Williams in the game for Noble. There's a deep 3 for Noble, and it was way short. James gets a rebound, has it tipped away from behind out of bounds. It'll be Carl Albert ball.
I think Marcus James intimidated that shot on the putback, not the 3, but the putback.
Jaden Hopkins finds Quincy. Marcus James staying down low on the block. He's in good position down there on the backside frequently to take a lob pass.
Also puts him in position for offensive boards.
Xavier Garcia in the ball game for Carl Albert now as well. And a little alley-oop type action on the fast break for Noble, but the player that catches the ball, I believe that was Balkema, was way out of position. He throws it off the body of Carl Albert player and it goes out of bounds. Noble ball on the baseline. It's Quincy Hopkins with the rebound, and a quick foul is going to be called on Colton Williams. That'll be his first personal. 2 team fouls on Noble here in the second period. None on Carl Albert.
Has to be so encouraging that Carl Albert has not been turning the ball over, not been fouling.
It's Russell for 3, left wing. Boom! It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. Check out Bobby Lewis Insurance with great rates in Del City and Choctaw. And it is Crawford just struggling to convert there under the basket. Jaden Hopkins right to the hole, did a good job switching hands so he was in position to put a shot up. And Jaden Hopkins now has 12 points in the ball game.
Well, we know Noble's not probably going to call another timeout for a while because they're only down to 2, so that's a Carl Albert timeout.
Only a 30-second timeout. Just looking at the scoring, 12 points for Jaden Hopkins here in the first half, 6 for Quincy Hopkins, 6 for Ryan Reynolds, and 4 each for Steven Anderson and Marcus James.
Yeah, it's right. Since it was 10-9, that may have gotten some of the Titan players' attention, and they have been on point since then. I mean, they've played just about flawless basketball. A big part of that is what I was talking about before is that Jaden Hopkins has come back after kind of a rough start, and he's been tremendous since he's been back in.
He's still attacking the basket, but he's in just a little bit better control, and he is looking for the dish to his teammate a little more than he did early. And defensively, not a whole lot has changed for Carl Albert, but offensively, it just seems like much more controlled with their shots, more intentional with their shots. LeBron Royal in the ballgame now for Carl Albert, and Mason Crawford gets the bucket for Noble.
Crawford probably took advantage of his height advantage, the height he has against Royal there, so that's a good move on his part.
Jaden Hopkins finds Royal down low. Royal has the ball stolen away, and then it is turned over by Noble. Baseline inbound play. Russell gives it to Quincy Hopkins. And right back out to Garcia. Slow ball movement now from what we've been seeing from Carl Albert. Royal on the baseline. It's Russell for 3. Boom! It's another Bobby Lewis Insurance 3-point shot by Hutch Russell.
Again, this is why you don't normally want to play zone against Carl Albert, because they will start to make those consistently.
There's a 3 by Noble, and that one is out on the sideline. Instead, they end up getting off the rebound and put back. 2-point shot made by Leland Elmore. He has 5 points.
Good play by Crawford. Getting the offensive rebound and seeing the open teammate right away.
Quincy Hopkins loses a handle on the ball. He has it stripped away at the top of the key, trying to drive inside. And a block by Jaden Hopkins on Williams. Quincy Hopkins finds Royal. Royal's going to the hole. Tries to give it right back to Quincy Hopkins, and we're going to have a foul called on Williams. That'll be his second.
Well, Williams had a layup attempt, but this is where you got to be comfortable shooting a layup with either hand. He didn't want to go with his left hand, and he had no room to shoot with his right hand. That's why it was an easy block there for Quincy Hopkins.
2 minutes and 4 seconds left on the clock here in the first half. 39-15 is the score. Make it 40-15 as LeBron Royal hits the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Really important for players like Royal to show, he should be in the rotation no matter what. It's easy to go deep in this type of game, but what will Coach Price do when he plays a higher seed going forward? Will he shorten his bench? Some coaches do that in those situations. We'll see what Carl Albert does.
LeBron Royal hits both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Nate Standridge checks in for Noble. And there's another turnover for Noble. Nice dish from Garcia over to Anderson. Anderson has 6 points in the ball game. Full court pressure by Carl Albert, and we've got the Super Subs instant replay. Crawford makes a nice move, draws the foul, and gets the bucket.
Now that's just been few and far between for the Bears, where they try to attack a press. They're not just content to beat the press. They want to attack the press and find something open under the basket. That usually can happen, but you have to be patient and you have to work the ball around.
Crawford hits the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. 43-18 the score. Carl Albert with the ball again. A little slower ball movement with this lineup on the court. Garcia drives in, comes back out, finds Royal. Royal tries to go across the baseline to Anderson, off his hands, out of bounds.
That's where Royal, even though he's trying to make the unselfish play, and again, he's an undersized post player when it comes to his height, but that's a good situation for him to show he can finish amongst players his size or taller. And so I think he was being a bit too unselfish there.
Yeah, he was in position to probably go up and draw a foul if he had, at the very least, if he had just gone up for the shot. Noble. Standridge is going across the top. Little weave happening in the paint. Shot put up. And it's good by Leland Elmore. He has 7 points.
Good job by Elmore to kind of freeze the defense there.
Hutch Russell on the right wing. Thinks about the three. Passes off to Reynolds, top of the key instead. 40 seconds to play in the half. Russell, three. Boom! Another Bobby Lewis Insurance three, courtesy of Hutch Russell. He's hot outside tonight.
Second quarter has belonged to him.
Standridge misses a shot. Rebound goes to Crawford. We're going to have a foul on Carl Albert. That one is the second personal on LeBron Royal.
Not many fouls on the Titans. They've done a good job of playing aggressive man defense without fouling.
4 team fouls total in the first half for the Titans. Not many at all. Crawford battling Royal. Goes up. Royal takes the ball away from him.
Going up against a slightly taller player. That's just outstanding defense by Royal.
Anderson over to Garcia. Russell hanging out in the corner. Royal down on the baseline. Shot put up by Anderson. Reynolds with the rebound. Pulls up for the mid-range jumper, and he nails it at the buzzer. Ryan Reynolds with 8 points, 48-20. The Super Subs instant replay. Again, Super Subs has those chicken Phillies, folks. Try out the deluxe barbecue or buffalo chicken Philly. At halftime, 48-20 is the score. Carl Albert Titans lead the Noble Bears. We're going to get our stats ready, and we'll be back in just a few minutes to wrap up the first half and get ready for the second half of play right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, and it is halftime, almost time to start the third period here. Carl Albert Titans leading the Noble Bears 48-20 at halftime. Leading scoring for the Carl Albert Titans is Jaden Hopkins with 12 points, 10 for Hutch Russell, including 3 threes in the second period. 8 points for Ryan Reynolds, 6 for Quincy Hopkins, 6 for Steven Anderson, and 4 points for Marcus James and 2 points for LeBron Royal. So it was a close game late in the first, 10-9, Carl Albert on top, and then it's been all Carl Albert. Now Marcus James takes the one-step dunk with the super subs instant replay.
Just a good job, a good high-low action, the high being Quincy Hopkins attacking from the high post.
Missed shot by Leland Elmore for Noble. Rebound Carl Albert. This third period, by the way, brought to you by Rose State College. Rose State College. Parents, if you want to save money on college, help your student get ahead by earning college credit in high school. Another one-step drop, slam it, home dunk by Marcus James. Instant replay brought to you by Super Subs.
You know, I think that might have been something Carl Albert wanted to work on at halftime. Just get the ball somewhere in the middle and look for Marcus James cutting from the baseline. And what that does is Noble's going to call their fourth timeout, so they only have one more left.
There you go.
But their new coach, Matt Thornton, wants to correct that right away. We'll see what they do because they've been sticking with that zone, has Noble.
Back to our third period sponsor, Rose State College.
Yes.
So parents, you can help your student get ahead because they can earn college credit while they are in high school. So when they graduate high school, it is not out of the question that they could be a full year of college completed already when they graduate high school. As a matter of fact, they may even have more than that and be a little further than ahead. Check out Rose State College. Apply today, rose.edu/concurrent, CONCURRENT. It's a great program.
Yeah. Oh, Ticket to Rose for Middale students is awesome. You get a high enough GPA, you can get your basic credits for free.
There is another deep three, NBA range, and shot no good by Noble. Rebound, and Marcus James avoids the charge there as he just falls down to keep from getting the offensive foul called. Reynolds misses a shot, and Marcus James gets the putback. He has 6 quick points here in the third period.
Yeah, that's going to be – that's just really good for his confidence because, you know, he can't have some shooting struggles against some bigger teams. So those finishes, those dunks, that putback, really important for him going forward.
And he gets a steal now. Has the ball taken right away once again. Battling for it, layup off the glass, Weston Randolph.
Now Marcus James probably should not be pushing the ball when he gets a steal. He needs to get it to a guard. But otherwise, he's playing an outstanding quarter. Just that one mistake.
Hutch Russell passes off to Jaden Hopkins. Now Quincy on the left wing. Skip pass. Russell for 3. That one doesn't fall, but another rebound by Marcus James. James working hard in there, tries to get to the basket, and draws the foul.
So what's interesting here, if you remember the girls' game for Carl Albert 2 days ago, Tracy, and lots happened since then with that triple overtime game we had, so it's hard to remember it, but Carl Albert, Coach Ritchie decided he was done with his starters. Not only starts his top 8 players, none of them played in the second half. Well, in this game, Coach Price has decided, you know what, we're going to play our starters starting the third quarter, even though, unlike the girls, Carl Albert boys have to turn around and play tomorrow. They don't have a day off. But I'm sure Coach Price is confident in his team's conditioning. After all, they haven't played in 9 days until tonight.
And now with 12 points in the game, Marcus James connects on both of the Tunibi's Houses free throws. And he has 12. He has 8 here in the third period, and we're barely into the third period. So not worrying about conditioning.
Nice drive.
Another nice drive by Weston Randolph. He has 5 points.
He took advantage of Marcus James kind of leaving the paint there. So, yeah, very smart play by Randolph. I think Hutch Russell was counting on Marcus James to be there.
Randolph tips the ball away from behind, knocks it out of bounds. Quincy Hopkins takes the inbound pass, gives to Ryan Reynolds. Wide open around to Hutch Russell. Off the back of the iron, no good. All the way down the court, dish to a teammate, and throws it away. That is turnover number 17 for Noble. Like Quincy Hopkins gets the dish from Hutch Russell, and he puts it off the glass for 2.
Good vision there from Hutch. He can play point when he needs to. He's not just a shooter.
That was a nice look from Leland Elmore finding his teammate Mason Crawford under the basket, and Crawford gets another bucket. He has 7 points in the ballgame.
It's worth pointing out that this is different playoff format. Noble with a loss will not be eliminated. They will play tomorrow against the loser of John Marshall Elgin. So it's important for them to get some things figured out.
Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 by Weston Randolph. He has 7 points in the third period. That's all the points in the third here.
Weston Randolph is
almost
starting to step up.
Marcus James with an offensive board and a putback.
He's been a beast this third quarter.
10 points in the third period for Marcus James. 60-29 the score. Carl Albert leading Noble now. And as you said, this is not an elimination game.
Yep. And it's been an elimination game as long as they've had this playoff format, which, I mean, Coach Price has said it's been forever. So if he says that, you can count on that being the case. So, but, yeah, they're trying something new this year. We'll see if they stick with it.
And there's a 3 from the corner by Noble. No good. Quincy Hopkins gets the rebound. You know, with my alter ego, V-Dog, I've been doing –
Whoa, Ryan Reynolds. I didn't know he could do that. We're going to get that on again.
Super Subs bringing
there
you this
is.
at replay. That's fun, right?
Oh, he'll never forget it.
With my alter ego, V-Dog, I've been doing playoff brackets for basketball since 2006. And the 5A and 6A regional format has been a single elimination.
Yes.
As long as all the way back to
for
2006.
The first round.
Yeah, for the first round.
After that, it's double. But.
Right. Steal by Jaden Hopkins, and he's going up for a dunk.
Why not? Let's keep doing those super subs. We'll see the steal and the slam for Mr. Hopkins, the younger Hopkins.
Super Subs has the Chicken Phillies, folks. Hutch Russell hanging on a little bit. Didn't get called for the foul. We're going to have another dunk here. It'll be the 5th one, and is an off-the-backboard dish from Jaden to Quincy, and Quincy can't get it to go. Now Jaden right to the hole. Little elbow up high by Jaden Hopkins. Lucky he didn't get called for an offensive foul.
And now the Titans will empty their bench. I think it took a missed dunk for Coach Price to say, okay, we're done. Let's go and rest those starters. They got a game tomorrow.
68-29 the score. 2:45 to play in the third. Jaden tips the ball away from behind, and Marcus James is going to get a foul as he's reaching for the loose ball.
Yeah, he probably wanted to keep that play going and get a steal because those 5 for Carl Albert coming out. Great start to the third quarter, and they're probably going to be out for the rest of the game.
So Jaden Hopkins is still out there, and Quincy Hopkins as well. We only had 3 players swapped.
Only 3.
Brendan Rogers.
Miscounted by a lot.
Steven Anderson and LeBron Royal come in. Jaden Hopkins with fast break. What's he going to do with this one? He goes up, slams that one home.
The crowd, the Carl Albert bench is fatigued from cheering all these dunks, but we still have the replay for you.
5 dunks in the third period. Randolph driving, goes up, off the glass, shot no good. Royal with the rebound. He gives it to Anderson. Anderson headed to the hole with it, and a little body blow. He tries to sell it. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Carl Albert ball on the baseline. And we have quite a few subs for Noble as well. And these numbers are hard to read, but we'll see if we can pick them up.
It's a hard name there. Noah Nikone. We didn't get the pronunciation before we should have. But making his first appearance. Boy, Royal just cleared out a lot of space there.
Is he going to get the continuation on that? He deserves it.
Oh, yeah, for sure, because he got fouled on the pump fake. Almost an intentional foul there.
Yeah, Colton Williams, that picks up his third, and a couple of them have been a little aggressive.
Well, you need a player to do that for you, even though it didn't work out on that one.
Royal gets the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, and he is 3 for 3 from the free throw line in the ball game. Matter of fact, from the line in this ball game, Carl Albert is 10 for 13 from the free throw line. Pretty good free throw shooting, about 75%.
Well, this is what they do. We know them about football, how consistent they are. In basketball, they don't win as many state titles, but they're very consistent with getting to state and before that hosting regionals. And the fact that they were able to host this year when it looked like for a bit they may not, they came really close to not hosting. It's got to be a lot of wind in their sails.
Brandon Rogers gets a layup for Carl Albert. A foul's called on Carl Albert now. That one was on Jaden Hopkins, his second personal. Second team foul on Carl Albert. It's only 6 fouls on Carl Albert in 3 periods of play. Toonie Buys Houses free throws coming for Eli Elmore of Noble. And he hits the first. Toonie Buys Houses, folks, in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call Toonie Buys Houses today for a cash offer. 405-931-3046. And Elmore hits both of the free throws. That's his first points in the ball game. 75-31 the score. Jaden Hopkins brings the ball up the court. He finds a lane, headed right to the hole. Lays that one up off the glass for 2.
Initially gave an appearance. He may try to dunk and then switched hands. Or looked like he was switching hands. Kind of cradled the ball. Boy, he is sniffing blood.
20 points for Jaden Hopkins and make it. No, he misses. He tries to do a windmill dunk and misses the shot. Foul called on Steven Anderson. His first personal, third team foul.
Now we can say Carl Albert's going completely to their bench.
Checking into the ball game now, Austin Johnson and Xavier Garcia checks into the game. So for Noble, we've got Colton Williams, Eli Elmore, Leland Elmore. Let's see. Noah is on the court, and we're not going to try to pronounce that last name. It is one of the most difficult ones I've seen. The last name. And nice little move. Stepping back and forth on that pivot foot. Goes up for the shot. Misses it. Draws the foul. The foul is on Austin Johnson. And that's the fourth team foul now on Carl Albert. A.J. Balkema shooting the free throws for Toonie Buys Houses. Balkema hits the first. He has 6 points in the ball game now.
So Carl Albert looks like they are headed for a 7:30 showdown tomorrow against the winner of John Marshall Elgin. While that game will not be easy, it's a very winnable game for Carl Albert. That's a game they could win by double digits. I think the other home teams will have some really tough games ahead of them, especially Del City if they play Crossings, which is the expected matchup, which we'll have that game for you as well on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
77-32 with 33 seconds left to play. The foul's called on Leland Elmore. Steven Anderson gets the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, and he hits the first. And he missed both free throws early in the game, but connects on one of these. He's 1 for 4 from the line, but it's LeBron Royal getting
nice
the offensive
pass.
board, and Brandon Rogers with the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3.
Very underrated aspect of basketball. You throw the ball to a three-point shooter, you want to hit him right in the hands so the shot becomes easier. And you couldn't have asked for an easier three there that was made by, and I missed the name.
The pass made
Brandon
by
Rogers.
Brandon Rogers with
Royal
the shot.
made the pass,
Yeah, Royal made a great pass. He's a sophomore, and the way he sees the court, it's just going to be exciting to watch him play and develop further over the next couple of years.
Yeah, again, height-wise, he's kind of short for a post player, but he makes up for it in a lot of different ways.
We've got Toonie Buys Houses free throws coming for Nate Standridge, and he hits the first. 16 seconds left to play in the third. It is a 48-point lead here for Carl Albert. Standridge misses the free throw. Rebound, Johnson. Johnson passes off to Garcia. He's going to pull up and reset the offense. Now inside to Johnson. Johnson pulls up, 6-foot jumper, no good. Rebound, Noble. Garcia reaching in, no foul called. Shot from midcourt is no good for Noble, and after 3 periods of play, the score is 81-33. Carl Albert on top of Noble in this Class 5A regional first-round game. We're going to take a break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Titans lead the Noble Bears 81-33 as we begin the fourth period of play. The fourth period brought to you by
Dynamic Health Clinic.
Dynamic Health Clinic, a Dynamic Health Clinic where Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. Carl Albert on the fast break. Austin Johnson gets his first points of the ball game.
Johnson got that steal by just using his quick hands to knock the ball away from a Noble inside player, so he got rewarded there with a layup.
And a rebound by Anderson, feeding it down the court, throws it away as turnover for Carl Albert. 7 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the ball game. Dish inside, Crawford makes it a little move around the defender, goes up, and he gets the bucket.
You can see Crawford with good size. You know, he could be an effective post player for his team tomorrow for sure when they play their game. And he's a senior, though, but definitely still one more game for Noble.
Garcia, pass across the court. Anderson drives in, kicks it out. Johnson for three. Front iron over the top of the backboard, but does not hit the structure. And Rogers battling, has a shot blocked. Rebound Noble. Noble just almost playing street ball, just trying to make something happen right now. And
nice
Garcia.
What a finish.
Man, he crosses under and spins it off the backboard, courtesy Super Subs Instant Replay. Now, in the game for Noble is, that's Noah, number 5, okay.
Let's see, the Steven Anderson, what's he got?
Anderson.
Not quite the ups of a couple other players, but I'm sure he'll get there. He's only a sophomore.
Trying to get the dunk, just can't get it over the front of the rim. High arching three for Noble, courtesy Bobby Lewis Insurance. Bobby Lewis Insurance with surprisingly great rates. 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and Del City. Call him in Del City at 405-670-3665. Shots put up all over the court for Carl Albert. A steal by Garcia. Royal driving to the hole, pulls up off the glass. 2 points for Royal.
Good to see Royal get a finish.
And we've got
and he'll be taking a rest, so that the 2 of the guys that they're resting right now, Rogers and Royal, had a good third quarter. And again, they will be big factors in some really close games coming up for Carl Albert this playoffs.
So some more guys coming out on the court now for Carl Albert. We now have Rex Reynolds, number 30, D'Elijah Matthews is out on the court. And we still have Garcia and Anderson out there. And Johnson still out there as well.
Rex, of course, Ryan's younger brother, showing he's got some range to at least get the ball that far. I'm sure he'll make some threes in that spot before his career's over.
Good-looking shot.
Yep.
Williams for 3 for Noble, no good. And a tipped rebound ends up back in the hands of number 12, Leland Elmore. He gets the bucket to go. Rex Reynolds, little jab step. Now a fall-away jumper on the baseline. He drops it.
Now that's a shot his brother will attempt too, only his brother's a lefty.
That was a nice-looking shot. 89-40 the score.
That's a nice move, the way you dribble in and then just fade away. If you practice that enough, it's a good shot.
Noah takes the three from the top of the key. Shot no good. 3:50 to play in the ball game.
All right, so this next guy coming in for Carl Albert, Adrian Randall. He looks like he's in about 7th grade, but he's actually a sophomore, and he's a good ball handler. Very quick guard. I'll be interested to see him with the ball some.
His height does not mean he has no skills. He definitely has some ball skills.
They did a good job there not dragging his pivot foot.
Rex Reynolds called for the travel.
So Randall could have been called for a travel, but he did a good job keeping his pivot foot, and then Rex Reynolds gets the travel. So
3:20 to play now. Eli Elmore brings the ball up the court. He passes off to Tanner Sindelbach, who is in the game for Noble. Standridge to Sindelbach. Sindelbach from the baseline. Shot no good. Ball tipped out, and it comes off the hands of Randall, so it'll be Noble ball on the baseline.
By the way, we are going to have the game coming up next between Elgin and John Marshall. So we have a 31 coming in. I need to get his number from Coach Price. We apologize we don't have it. But that game will be audio only. But we will have the score on the screen.
Rex Reynolds takes the pass down the court. Got a fast break and misses the layup over the front of the rim. Just comes off the front of the rim. Johnson, left wing. We have a number 31 on the court for Carl Albert. I do not have a 31 on my roster. There is a three by Delijah Matthews. 3-point shots courtesy of Bobby Lewis Insurance. 92-40 the score. Drive in by Standridge. Lays it off the glass. Good for two.
See if Carl Albert, they make an attempt at getting to 100.
2 minutes left. 4 buckets away. Johnson.
Maybe not quite 4.
And there is another Bobby Lewis Insurance three, courtesy of Austin Johnson. He has a stroke.
Well, let's go and talk about player of the game. We narrowed it down to Marcus James and Jaden Hopkins.
Both had phenomenal second halves. James got going early in the second half.
Yes. We may talk to both at the end of this game. We got a full timeout by Noble. We'll go and keep it here just to, again, set the scene for today and tomorrow. So, you can check on the score right now for Midwest City. They are up by 32 points against Western Heights. Still apparently in the third quarter, unless our boy Josh Kelly just forgot to update that because we think he'd be lined up with us. And Del City playing right now against Altus. We'll get you that score here in a moment. Oh, we're still in the full timeout. So Del City up comfortably 88-29 and setting up a potential big-time matchup against Crossings. And Guthrie still in a bit of a struggle with Guyman, only up by 10. But they are in control right now of the game.
Of course, Crossing still has to win tonight, right?
Yes, they're going to play Southeast. So not a gimme. At some point you think Crossings, they got to be really upset with how the season ended. And so we'll see how they respond to some of the some late season adversity and losing these close games they've have.
Ball tipped out. It'll be Carl Albert basketball. 95-42, minute 20 to play here for Carl Albert. Randall with the ball, pushing up the court quickly. Matthews, left wing. Carl Albert taking their time here. And Rex Reynolds takes the three from the top of the key. No good. Noah gets the rebound. Matthews strips it away from behind. He gives it to number 31. He gives it back to Randall in the corner. Randall for three. In and out. Johnson with the rebound. Rex Reynolds goes up. Shot blocked. Matthews with the rebound. Shot no good. Jump ball coming off of the rebound, and possession is going to stay with Carl Albert. Carl Albert working hard here to keep these possessions alive.
Yep. Third unit really in right now for Carl Albert. They're playing hard. Who knows if they'll get any playing time or this much playing time going forward. Nice three by Randall.
Randall gets the Bobby Lewis Insurance three from the left corner. It's 98-42 the score.
They're within range.
1 bucket away from that century mark.
The players would love it. Oh, the coaches don't care, but the players would love it if they get to 100.
All fans like to talk about it too, right?
Yeah. They do if they get a prize. Oh, we may have it here.
Steal by Johnson and timeout called by Coach Price.
He doesn't want it. That's
yeah. The players
kind of funny. He was like, you will not see that very often. A full timeout called in a transition. Now, it probably has nothing to do with the score. Now that I think about it, he's setting up a play. Is Coach Price? We can get a good look at what he's doing on the sideline there. So he just wants his 5 guys out. And again, these aren't 5 guys who are probably going to play crunch time during this playoff run. You wouldn't expect it, but he wants them to work on something. I don't know if it's some type of set play or what.
Well, it may be that he didn't want them to go put the.
It's possible.
The exclamation
I thought
mark
he was
on the
diagramming
game.
the play. It looked like he was, but they're just going to wait the clock out.
Randall's going to hold it in the final score in this one, 98-42. The Carl Albert Titans defeat the Noble Bears in the first round of the Class 5A playoffs. Carl Albert will advance to play in the winner's bracket tomorrow. Noble will fall down to play in the loser's bracket. Carl Albert will play the winner of the next game between Elgin and John Marshall, and Noble will play the loser of that game. Now we're going to total up some points, and Jordan is going to go down and get with Coach Price, talk to our player of the game. Our player of the game brought to you by the Eastside Church of Christ. The Eastside Church of Christ in Midwest City believes in loving Jesus by loving our neighbors, and I say our folks because I'm a minister at the Eastside Church of Christ, and I would love to have you come out and visit with us, not just find out about our love for God and our worship of Him, but to find out how we put His love on display by trying to take care of the community. Our Bible classes on Sunday morning are at 9 a.m., worship is at 10, and we have midweek Bible study at 7 on Wednesdays. Eastside Church of Christ on South Douglas, and just hope you can come out and join us on South Douglas there at the Eastside Church of Christ. So we have Jordan down on the court with Coach Price, and Jordan, take it away.
All right, am I on? Okay, good. Coach, at one point it was 10-9, and you didn't have to call a timeout for the team. They just got going because of the score, but how would you describe how that big run they went on?
We hadn't played in 10 days. It's one of those things. We're a little flat coming out. You want to get your sweat going, get loose, and they're excited. Both teams are excited about playing. So it just took a little while. Once we got our energy going and we're able to create some turnovers, stuff started going in, and we started doing a better job. And we were a little sloppy at first, but that happens a lot of times when you set for that long. So we did it. We all right. We did a good job, and kids did a great job of spreading it out.
Marcus James was our player of the game, and it seems like, I don't know if you talked about halftime with some high-low action against their zone, because you had him in a backdoor baseline cut for 2 or 3 times to start out that third quarter. Was that something you emphasized to your team?
That's exactly what we talked about at halftime. Yeah, we weren't getting the touches inside. We were just relying on trying to dribble into their zone and shoot the ball from the outside, which is okay if you're making them, but if you're not, you need to get some touches inside. It helps your rhythm, helps you get going better, and we were able to make some really easy passes and easy dunks for him to kind of get things going for us in the second half.
One thing that's different about regionals, a couple things, but one of them is now the home team plays first. Yeah. So you get a chance to step back and watch this game. What do you think of this game coming up between John Marshall and Elgin?
It should be good. I haven't seen John Marshall a whole lot, but we've played Elgin twice. I think it'll be a pretty close game, and we're going to try to get all the information we can and get prepared for tomorrow night.
All right, look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, Coach. Thanks.
You bet.
All right, folks, Jordan finished up with Coach Price, and again, the final score in this one, 98-42, the final score. Carl Albert advancing in the winner's bracket, Noble falling into the consolation bracket in the 5A regionals. We're going to get ready for our next game, which will be between the Elgin Owls and the John Marshall Bears. So we got another Bears team coming up next, and just been a blast to bring you this one. We're going to go ahead and take a break here as we get set up for the next game. Carl Albert victorious in the first round of the Class 5A regionals here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.